What year?
Yeah.
So y'all met school. Okay.
July.
And this is.
Cynthia. My brother died.
So you speaking today as well? No, you
We
just
haven't vetted.
you haven't met with meeting. So y'all another brother?
That's my sister.
That's it. Okay. So we're gonna bring all of them in with Stuart because we need to make sure our team talks to y'all so we can add you to the civil rights.
He wants
I've
us
had all
to say
kinds of
anything
things.
that
I'll just mention it because we got some extra people. Well, no,
Where's she at?
Yes, sir.
every day more people call.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Where's
Yeah,
the
and I'm
other family?
supposed to open.
Yeah.
She went to get some recent.
Okay. Right on this side. We're just waiting on the. Are you all good without a podium? You good without a podium? Okay. All right. Yara. We're gonna need some people to hold the wreaths on this side. Somebody step up and hold. We need a couple of people to hold the wreath with Pam. Take the 2 from Pam, 3 from Pam on that side. The family members may need their hands free.
Pam.
Pam.
No, okay.
Yeah. We live? Okay. Yara, start us. Yeah, right here.
Get on this side.
No, you can go ahead and start. No, Yara. Yeah. It's a Yara, then Stuart, then Pam. All right. Everybody nice and tight if you're with us. Good. Be cold and safe, but we know. All right.
Hold on just a little while longer. Hold on just a little while longer. Hold on just a little while longer. We know justice is coming soon. Fight on just a little while longer. Fight on just a little while longer. Fight on just a little while longer. We know justice is coming soon. Come on and pray on just a little while longer. Pray on just a little while longer. Oh, pray on just a little while longer. We know justice is coming soon, and we got to march on just a little while longer. March on just a little while longer. Oh, march on just a little while longer. We know justice is coming soon. I've got a feeling everything's gonna be all right. Oh, I've got a feeling everything's gonna be all right. Oh, I've got a feeling everything's gonna be all right. Be all right. Be all right. Be gonna be alright. Oh, I've got a feeling everything's gonna be alright. I've got a feeling everything's gonna be alright. Be alright. Be alright. Be alright. You know that justice tells us everything's gonna be alright. Oh, justice tells us everything's gonna be alright. Justice tells us everything's gonna be alright. Be alright. Be alright. Be alright. Oh, somebody's hurting my brother, and it's gone on far too long. Yes, it's gone on
Far too long.
I tell you, it's gone on far too long. Oh, somebody's hurting my brother, and it's gone on
Far too long.
and we won't be silent anymore. Did you hear? Somebody's hurting my sister, and it's gone on far too long. Yes, it's gone on far too long. I tell you, it's gone on far too long. Oh, somebody's hurting my sister, and it's gone on far too long, and we won't be silent anymore. Did you hear? Somebody's killing our families, and it's gone on far too long. Yes, it's gone on far too long. I tell you, it's gone on far too long. Oh, somebody's killing our families, and it's gone on far too long, and we won't be silent anymore. Well, if we've been just a little too quiet, you know it's gone on far too long. Yes, it's gone on
Far too long.
I tell you, it's gone on far too long. If we've been just a little too quiet, you know it's gone on far too long, and we won't be silent anymore. And we won't be silent anymore. And we won't be silent anymore.
Amen. Just before Brother Stuart comes, we want to make sure everybody has a sign like this, or one of them. Everybody has one. We want the message to go out clear. West Virginia mothers and families want answers.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks everybody for being here. My name is Stuart Acuff. I'm one of the tri-chairs of the West Virginia Poor People's Campaign. This is my sister, Pam Garrison. She's my leader along with Bishop Barber. She's the other tri-chair of West Virginia Poor People's Campaign. We are glad in these very sad circumstances to have everybody here. Bishop Barber is going to speak in a minute. Pam is going to speak in a minute. We're going to ask the families
That's right.
of Quantez Burks and Alvis Shrewsbury to speak to you. We're going to notify the governor that we are filing a federal Department of Justice civil rights campaign on behalf of black and white inmates, male and female. And today, families are joining us as we speak. We have a woman who herself was abused with us today. She'll be signing on to the complaint. We have two sisters of a man who died of a ruptured bowel in a jail, South Central Jail here in Charleston, and was denied medical care, and he died in jail. Right now, I want to introduce you to the real leader of the West Virginia Poor People's Campaign. She looks short, but she stands tall. My sister, Pam Garrison.
That's right. Yeah.
Thank you, Stuart. Thank you all for being here, and especially thank the families. I want y'all to know that we've been watching this horror unfold for the last year. The West Virginia Poor People's Campaign had, and we couldn't take it anymore. We sent a letter to Reverend Barber and the National asking them to come and help us bring these families' stories to the nation, to let them know what's going on here in West Virginia and what's getting hid under the rugs.
That's right.
You know, it's sad that we have to be here for this kind of a situation, but somebody has to stand up. Somebody has to speak. They're in the ground. They can't speak for themselves.
That's right.
We have to. And I come and I stand with 750,000 poor, low-wage workers, which is ones who is mostly catching this.
That's right.
I stand here representing them and saying enough is enough. No more. I stand on the shoulders of Fannie Lou, who said we're here to pray for our dead, but we're going to fight like hell for our living. This is not the end. This is the beginning.
That's right. That's right.
Stand with us, Mountaineers, because Mountaineers are not free right now. We're in handcuffs, we're in oppression, we're in poverty.
That's right. That's
Stand with us. Because a lot of you might not affect you now, it might affect you tomorrow.
That's right.
It might affect your kids,
That's right.
your grandkids, who get stopped at a traffic stop and beat up. So you better stand with us before you're the one who's looking at that grave.
That's right.
Thank you, West Virginia. Thank you, stand.
That's right. That's right. Stand. 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 Stand with us. Say it. Stand with us.
Stand with us.
Stand with us.
Stand with us.
Stand for truth.
Stand for truth.
Stand for justice.
Stand for justice.
Pam, would you come and introduce the two families who are the most important? No, I
fired
understand.
up.
You fired up.
It's my honor to introduce to y'all and to really hear the pain that is in these stories. And I've been listening to a lot of them. I've lost a lot of sleep. It's my honor to introduce Miss Kim Burks.
Right here.
Right here.
Come up, Stuart, and you and Pam will stand right here beside them. Where's Brother Stuart? All right. And their family members, other family members, raise your hand who are with Sister Burke, Mother Burks. Let the nation hear.
My name is Kimberly Burks. I am the mother of Quantez Burks, who was brutally beaten by the CEOs at the Southern Regional Jail in Beaver, West Virginia. My son was in their system for less than 22 hours. The very next day, we got no message, no call, no anything from the state, the police department, nor the jail system saying that my son was deceased. They beat my son while he was handcuffed. He had broken wrists while being in handcuffs. He had broken arm. His leg was broken nose. He had blunt force trauma to his whole body. He also had a heart attack. We never received a report from the state examiner's office in West Virginia. We had a private autopsy done. They tried to say he died of natural causes due to his high blood pressure.
Stop right there. I want to make sure the media is clear. The state's autopsy tried to say,
The states are trying.
but the second autopsy, the private said what?
The private autopsy said he died of blunt force trauma to his whole body. His heart attack was caused because of the stress that his body was put under during their beating. Not only do we need to bring attention to the injustice that's going on in the jail, we need to hold these departments here accountable for what they've done. That means the governor, the chief of police, the COs especially. They're still employed, and I don't understand why. The whole system needs to go in the trash and be revamped because there is a crisis here. I do not want to see another family go through what we've been through. If one of them would have came to us and said, Miss Burks, there was an incident at the jail, not that it's understood, but it would have been a little more acceptable that they came to us as the high authority that they are, but they never have.
How long was it before you were able to even bury your son?
My son died on March the 1st. We did not bury him until April the 23rd. Until April the 23rd.
And did the state or anybody help you pay for the second autopsy?
Nobody has helped pay for a thing. We are like $30,000 into this. We didn't have the money. We had to raise, we had to save, we had to do all of that. And not one time have they offered a condolences.
One more thing. How old was your son?
My son was 36 years old. 37, I'm sorry.
Had he been tried?
He had not been tried.
He had only been, so he was arrested, but he was still innocent until proven guilty.
He was innocent until proven guilty. His charges were misdemeanor charges that are bondable, and it's not a death sentence.
So he never got bonded, he never got out. He went in less than 24 hours.
In less than 24 hours, he was deceased.
Stay right here. I want that to sink in. I want those of you listening, particularly all the media, you all have got to do some serious investigating reporting of this. This is just one. Pam, introduce our next family.
Miranda.
And now I'd like to introduce to you, my honor to introduce this family to you for another heartbreaking story. Miranda Smith, the daughter of Ive Shrewsbury.
Say his name again.
Ive Shrewsbury!
And say your name again.
Quantez Burks!
Thank you. On August 29th, 2023, a 45-year-old healthy dad, brother, son, grandfather, and friend to many entered SRJ and only survived 19 days of brutal and inhumane treatment. He was beaten by fellow inmates, and it was ignored and covered up by corrupt correctional officers and authority. He was neglected by the medical staff, and due to this maltreatment, my dad passed in Beckley Appalachian Regional Hospital. People who knew and loved him will always see it as he died in that jail. After his passing on September 17th, Wyoming County Sheriff Kenny Wallen offered his personal condolences and informed us of his passing. But Senator Joe Manchin, Governor Jim Justice, the Department of Justice, the Department of Corrections, nor Wyoming or Raleigh County officials had offered any explanation of what happened to my dad while he was incarcerated. Many families are dealing with this, and it is inexcusable and unacceptable. Our family has had to sift through information offered from surviving inmates who were housed with my dad to try to piece together truths of what may have occurred. If you don't have contact with inmates that were housed with your loved ones, you may never find out anything that happened while they were in jail, especially if you don't keep in touch constantly. The angst of not knowing was stronger than my grief. I called and messaged anyone I knew who had any affiliation the night my dad passed. I found out from someone who worked at Jan Care. They read me the transcripts from the call that night that they went to SRJ to pick up him. We found out that he had a critical bleed from his rectum and his vitals were supposedly normal. My brother, being an employee at Bar H, questioned the medical staff who worked on my dad, and all they could tell him
We did all we could for 45 minutes. I'm sorry. We knew from Dad himself on phone calls and FaceTime with us that he had been beaten and that he was badly hurt. He needed medical attention, and he never received any help at all until he was already out of SRJ's facility. Nurses take an oath. In a jail or in a doctor's office, you do your due diligence to save lives. Department of Correction has failed families for far too long, and we call for an independent federal investigation into Southern Regional Jail and this corrupt government, keeping it open and able to take the lives of our young, able-bodied men and women. We will not stop standing or speaking until we are heard and actions are taken.
Say his name again.
Alvis Shrewsbury.
Alvis.
Alvis
Alvis.
Shrewsbury.
Say his name again.
Quantez Burks.
Y'all can stay right here beside me. Y'all come in a second. I write things down because I want to make sure I get it exactly right. Come in, stand right here, y'all. And because this is not the time for bumper sticker statements. This is serious. These tears that you see are not black tears or white tears. They're pain. It's tough enough to have a loved one to die. It's tough enough to have someone die just in life, period. But to have all of these unanswered questions, to have all of these distortions, compounds the pain. And we're calling on everyone who believes in righteousness and truth to turn loose all of the investigative tools that you have. We cannot abide more than 113 persons have died in this West Virginia jail over the last 10 years. And to this date, so far, our demands have been met with a deaf ear by Senator Joe Manchin, your other senator, and the governor. That is why we stand with these grieving families, and we push for justice, and we're not going to let them stand alone. The Poor People's Campaign here in West Virginia and other allies, NAACP and others, groups that are here today, will not let them stand alone. The surge that we see in questionable deaths at Southern Regional Jail is immoral, it's unjust, and it's impermissible. Not only have we demanded a call for a full federal civil rights investigation, we have already filed for a full civil rights investigation. And I come to announce today that we have received word that the Federal Justice Department has received our filing, and they are right now evaluating how and when or whether or not they will deal with it, but they have received it and accepted it. It is receipt. Neither a prison sentence nor poverty should be a death sentence.
Amen.
We must put an end to any inhumane and unconstitutional conditions that could have caused or attributed to death of even one inmate, let alone 114 in the last 10 years and 14 since last year. As long as West Virginians perish in prison without reason, Pam, without accountability, we cannot rest until every family is delivered truth and every departed soul is delivered peace. Stand with us. You can go to the Poor People's Campaign website. You can go to Repairs of the Breach website. My co-chair, Reverend Dr. Liz Theo Harris, would want you to know you can go to the Kairos website And you can sign off on the petition all over the country to join these families. These are families, mamas, fiancés, daughters, sisters, nieces. Criminal incarceration does not mean physical expiration. Being arrested for a charge shouldn't be a cause of death.
That's right.
Being in jail shouldn't mean end up in the grave. Inmates are still human beings with rights.
That's right.
Arrested today still means innocent until proven guilty. And it is not all right to end up dead just because you were arrested. And even if you were arrested and found guilty, that is not a death sentence. Amen. Conviction for a crime doesn't mean you ought to die while you're serving time.
That's right.
Even in jail, jail doesn't mean bad treatment, no health care, beatings, abuse, unexplainable death, and the need for second autopsies to override the state autopsies. All of these things are unjust. Let me say this real clearly, Sister Burke. If 114 legislators died over 10 years just because they came in that building behind us, don't you know there would be an all-out investigation?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
100%.
Or if 114 Congress people died over 10 years simply because they walked in the Capitol building in Washington, D.C., don't you know there would be a full all-out investigation?
Yes, sir.
Or if 114 police died because they went to the police precinct, don't you know there'd be a full all-out investigation?
Yes.
Or 114 coal miners just because they went into the coal mines. Or 114 students just because they came to schools. Somebody, if that was going on, would say, wait a minute, something's systemically wrong here. That simply by going in a place, you end up dead. We must say this now. And we are saying this about this regional jail. In fact, not only should it be investigated here, but I understand they have jails around the country. Something's wrong. We are demanding a full civil rights, top to bottom. Somebody say top to bottom.
Top to bottom.
And I don't care what your color is, everybody ought to be concerned. Even though black residents are incarcerated almost 4 times the rate of white residents. In these 414 deaths, some are white, some are black, some are brown, some are young, some are old. But what they have in common is they're all poor and or low wealth. They're not rich folk. They're not people that have super lawyer teams. You heard the family say they had to scrounge. That's my grandmama called it. They had to scrounge for money. What kind of system is that? That you got to borrow and go in debt just to find out how your loved one died in a facility. 42% of all the people in West Virginia are poor and or low income, low wages. That's 757,000 residents, 43% of the women, 399,000 women, 49% people of color, 65,000, 41% of white people, 692,000. There are 630,000 more poor and low wealth white people in this state than there are black. But it doesn't matter what your color is. This pain is deep. This pain is harsh. This pain is unjust. And that's why this mother and this daughter, and today even others have come up that we just found out about. One lady wants to talk to us because she was in the system and and herself was beaten. I won't put her name out there just yet. But what they all have in common is that folk died in their families. And even if they had received the death penalty, which we disagree with, this is not how even the death penalty operates. These people, hear me now, are dying in this West Virginia jail at an average of more than one per month. Hear that, media. An average of one per month for 10 straight years. And another one just died this week. Saturday. We've received, as I said, notice from the Justice Department that it has received and is under review on exactly how they're going to deal with our complaint. But what we've still not received or heard from is Governor Justice or Senator Manchin, what's the other senator, Capito, to say publicly that they support a call for a full civil rights investigation. What's wrong? Why can't you at least support the investigation?
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
And they've also not said they will meet with these families.
That's right.
And that's why the families today are going to deliver a petition directly to the governor's office. Let me close by saying this. Senator Manchin, you put your hand and Senator Capito on a Bible and swore to uphold the Constitution. The Fourth Amendment of the Constitution protects citizens from unreasonable search and seizure.
Yes, sir.
That's the Fourth Amendment. The Fifth Amendment provides that citizens cannot be subject to criminal prosecution and punishment without due process.
Yes, ma'am.
The Sixth Amendment assures the right to a speedy trial
Yes, sir.
by a jury of one's peers, and to be informed of the crime of which one is charged, and to confront the witnesses brought forward by the government. The Seventh Amendment provides that civil cases preserve the right to trial by jury, and the Eighth Amendment prohibits excessive bails, excessive fines, and cruel and unusual punishment.
Yes, sir.
What's going on here is seemingly a violation of all of those constitutional rights.
Yes.
Not one amendment in the Constitution says that the state has a right to ignore suspicious death of persons incarcerated, convicted, or awaiting trial. Now, Governor Justice, you put your hand on the Bible and swore to uphold the West Virginia Constitution.
That's right.
In that Constitution, it says, no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law and the judgment of his peers. No person. Doesn't matter what their income is. No person. Doesn't matter what their race is. No person. Doesn't matter what crime they are accused of. No person. Doesn't matter what crime they are found guilty of. No person. Doesn't matter what their gender is. Doesn't matter who they're connected to. Doesn't matter who their cousins are. Doesn't matter what their political party is. No person shall be deprived of life. That's what you swore to uphold. And that's why we are demanding that you join these families in a full call for a full federal civil rights investigation. Why a federal civil rights investigation? Because the federal government can investigate, the federal government can shut down, the federal government can pull money, and the federal government can put in jail.
Amen.
That's right.
And if you are a partaker in the unnecessary death of an inmate, if they die wrongful death, the truth of the matter is you need to be in the same prison that they died in.
That's right. That's right.
We want a full investigation.
Full investigation.
And we demand it now.
And we demand it now.
Full investigation.
Full investigation.
The full power
Full power
of the federal government.
of the federal government.
Full civil rights investigation
Full civil rights investigation
of what's going on
of what's going on
in this jail
in this jail
and how these people are dying.
and how these people are dying.
Human beings,
Human beings,
brothers and sisters,
brothers and sisters,
daddies and uncles,
daddies and uncles,
fiancés,
fiancés,
our loved ones.
our loved ones.
We must know
We must know
what happened.
what happened.
And if it was criminal,
And if it was criminal,
there must be
there must be
prosecution.
prosecution.
We cannot have
We cannot have
an unjust
an unjust
justice system.
justice system.
And so now we're going to make our way to the governor's office. I'm going to walk part of the way with you, Scott and Pam. We're going to take these wreaths with us.
Yep.
And then I'm going to turn it loose, because what's most important, members of the media, is not so much that you see me, but that you see these pictures and these families. And I'm begging you to go home and ask your editors, go back to your office, and ask them to allow you to turn loose a full investigation, full investigative reporting. Are there any questions from the media before we go in? Yes, we're going to go that way. Okay. Any questions? All right. Are you with me? Which way we headed? Everybody get behind 2 by 2. We're going to be longer. It's going to be 5 or 6 of us, but after us, 2 by 2.
All right, y'all find a part of the cover. Don't fall in behind the
Flint, where you going?
Yeah, back down.
Fall in 2 by 2. Behind the vision. 2 by 2.
Your trust could yeah, good to meet you. Nice to meet you. And start walking.
We're gonna keep on walking,
Keep on talking.
marching up to freedom. Ain't gonna let no jail. Ain't gonna
Let no jail
turn us around, turn us around, turn us
around.
Ain't gonna let no jailhouse
Turn us around.
gonna keep on
Walking.
Keep on talking. Marching up to freedom land. Turn us around. Turn us around. Turn us around. Justice. Turn us around. Keep on walking. Keep on talking. Walking on the freedom. Turn us around. Turn us around. Turn us around. Turn us around. Keep on walking. Keep on talking. Marching up to freedom.
Where's Pam? Y'all take them in.
All right.
Y'all, you got to get in front, got them.
Okay.
All right.
We're
I
Stuart.
can't walk all the way, but I can stand all the way.
I appreciate it.
But what's most important is that you all go in.
Yep.
All right? Pam, you got them?
Yep. Got him.
All right.
Ain't gonna let nobody.
Turn us around.
No.
Turn us around.
No. Turn us.
around.
Ain't gonna let nobody.
Turn us around.
We're gonna keep on
Walking. Keep on talking.
marching up to freedom land.
Be the man, Clint.
Ain't gonna let nobody.
Turn us around.
Turn us around. Turn us around. Let nobody turn us around.
keep on talking, marching up to freedom land.
They make this.
We shall not be moved. We're standing with our loved ones. We shall not be moved.
Just like a tree that's planted by the water, we shall not be moved. We're fighting for justice. We shall not be moved. We're fighting for justice. We shall not be moved. Just like a tree that's planted by the water, we
shall not be moved.
We demand investigation.
We shall not be moved.
We demand investigation.
We shall not be moved.
Just like a tree that's planted by the water, we shall not be moved. When I say we want, you say justice. We want
Justice! Justice!
justice. Justice.
Come on, Sally. Oh, you want that orange? You want
Justice. 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 Justice for Quantum! Justice for Quantum! Justice for Quantum! Justice for Quantum! Justice for Elvis! Justice for Elvis!
office, present him with the petitions,
Yes.
and ask him to join us in a call for a federal investigation. If media folks want to come up to the front, that's fine too. And so we're not going to chant inside until we get done with the governor. Okay?
You get separated, you're not familiar, the governor's office is to the right once you go through the metal detector.
Come on, y'all. Families?
Carry your stuff, set it down, then come back.
Come back to it.
Right here for a minute. Good night.
Master of this man. Sorry.
All right, you got everything out of your
I dropped. I knocked your chop on it.
Hold your shirt up. Hold your shirt up. Turn all the way around for me. Okay. Anything else in your pocket? Some weapons and that?
No, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, there's just flour. Well, I didn't make it, but as far as I can see, it's just flour.
tell you who we need. Where did Lindsay go? Lindsay?
But it sounds to me like we should went to the bathroom.
Oh,
We don't need to go to bat for this. You see what I'm saying?
we have a woman who was herself abused, and it'd be a good time to let her tell her story.
My first one was when I was 15. About 130 pounds, 5 cops beat the shit out of me.
Eric, how you doing? What?
Still live streaming? Oh. I did not know that.
Just trying to make sure everybody's doing well.
Somebody leave their stuff in the boat.
Guys, I got a phone and some keys over here. That's you?
Hey, we're going to have to go down through here or go someplace.
How about we go like a little bit down the hallway and start lining up? Because they're asking.
Go somewhere, but we can't stay there.
Samantha, families?
All right. Well, we've had a lot of help from them. They're reaching out to us.
How you doing?
Let's try to stay to one side of the hallway so we're not blocking the hallway.
Happy to do it. What?
It's really nice.
Thank you. She's powerful. She's horrible. You're well practiced. I am. I've done a lot.
We're going to have to go up some more, and there's still a line coming through.
Still a line of our people?
Yes,
Maybe I'll take Stu and walk the rest of the way, show him where we're going. Hey, come to Stu!
Still people coming through.
What you say about Justin? What you say? I'm lame, but there's no way.
We still have like 10 more people to get through security.
Okay. Where's
What did you strike? What did you strike?
Yeah, but we don't want to go. We gotta let people get through security.
Right, that's right.
Yeah, just straight ahead. Yeah.
My granddad. That's my granddad there.
Yes, I'm going next year.
about your daddy. The world's gonna know about your feelings.
What do you got planned this summer, Eric? What you got planned this summer? I know you'll be doing something. You know it's coming. Summer's coming. Exactly. It's been scary. It's been so calm. That's been me.
All right, folks, let's go.
Oh, right. He's in there, but he doesn't have everything. Did you see it? Yes, I did. No, they didn't got him out of here.
There's a lot of space that we can cover.
Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down.
You sure you didn't let me? Because I thought we was on the time.
Come on, y'all.
I think they're hitting somebody.
How y'all doing?
Good,
How
Eric.
you doing, sir? We have a delivery. My name's Stuart Acuff. I'm the co-chair of the West Virginia Poor People's Campaign. We have a delivery for the governor. Could we take it in?
I think they're getting somebody for you now, sir.
All righty, that'd be fine. Is there a place where we could all sit down? There's about 50.
Just give us one couple minutes.
Okay, thank you.
We're
We
determined
really
to do.
appreciate it. I'm Stuart Acuff.
Nice to meet you, Stuart.
I'm the co-chair of the West Virginia Poor People's Campaign.
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
appreciate
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Great, thank you very much.
Yeah, one of the head of our constituent services, Jason Williams, is walking
Okay.
over here right now, and he'll kind of
All
address
the
things with you
family.
guys. So thank you so much for coming.
And Ms. Austin, since you were personally affected, I want you to say a few words too, and then all the families will say something, okay? And the Millers?
My sister will be right back in.
Okay.
Yeah, just hold tight here.
Yeah, we're fine.
Just one
We're
second.
fine.
Yeah.
We've only been waiting for you.
Yeah, I can tell. Yeah, it's real. Yeah. Hey, this is Jason Williams. He is
Hi,
the-
Mr. Williams. I'm Stuart Acuff. I'm co-chair of the West Virginia Poor People's Campaign. This is Pam Garrison, who is the other co-chair. We need a few minutes of your time for these folks whose husbands, fathers, sons, and fiancés, and in the case of one of the people with us, have all been beaten and died in West Virginia regional jails. And we need the governor, since the DHS and since the Department of Corrections did not do a thorough, independent, objective investigation, we need the governor to know what's happening to our people, citizens, whose only, in some cases, whose only offense is being poor. One man, and let's tell the story about Quantez Burks in custody for less than 2 days. This is Ms. Kim Burks.
My name is Kimberly Burks. This is my son. This is Quantez Burks. He was 36 years old. 37. My son was arrested on February the 28th. On March the 1st, 10:30 in the morning, he was dead. We have yet to receive a telephone call, acknowledgement from the governor, from the city police, the chief department, the jail system, the COs, or anybody to acknowledge that my son passed away in the custody of the Southern Regional Jail, overrun by Jim Justice. I'm not finished.
Your independent medical examination found what?
We had to get our own personal autopsy done because the state said he died of natural causes. My son died of blunt force trauma to his whole body. He was handcuffed and beat while he was handcuffed. Both wrists were broken. He also had a heart attack due to the stress that his body was put on. I need the governor, the senator, and anybody that will listen to us. They hear us and they know we're here. But they have yet to acknowledge this problem that's ongoing. They had 13 deaths last year, 4 after my son. Okay? We just had another death last week. Saturday. We cannot let this keep happening to our families. We cannot, and we have no answers, no support of the state's autopsy, which we still haven't received. Nothing to say why y'all came up with a death of natural causes when that's not true. What are y'all gonna do about it? What is the governor gonna do about it? What is the senator gonna do about it? We are crying for help out here, and we are not getting it.
That's right.
And I understand that you have a petition here that is brought.
About 5,000. This is the daughter.
My dad's Alva Shrewsbury. My name's Miranda.
Show your picture.
Hi. My dad here, he was only 46 years old. He was in jail for 19 days before he died. He was actually beaten by other inmates, but due to the blind eye of correctional officers, anyone in authority there, and the nurses neglecting to take care of him or give him any medical care, he died 19 days after being in there on a misdemeanor charge, just driving on a DUI.
Lindsay. This is Lindsay Austin, who was beaten personally.
I was incarcerated on July 27th in South Central. When I was transferred from South Central to SRJ, I was taken into the bathroom by a gold badge and brutally beaten, blunt force trauma to my head. Denied medical attention. I was thrown in a cell. The toilet was backed up for over a week. I was denied clothes. I had to pop the sprinkler just so I could get attention for someone to come and help me. I was then beaten by inmates. I was abused by COs, drug up the stairs. There was feces in the cell. Hardly given food or water. By the time I had gotten jumped by the inmates in there, they ended up putting me in protective custody for 23 hours a day. I served a 3-month sentence that I was never sentenced to. The treatment from the COs and the gold badge officers was just absolutely disgusting. I had no voice. I couldn't use the phones. They wouldn't let me out. And I just want my voice to be heard so people don't go through what these people have had to go through.
One more family. The Millers.
Yes, my brother, James Miller, he was in regional jail for a trespassing misdemeanor. Sorry, it came up. He had something wrong. He ended up septic. His paranoid, something, I don't know, a ruptured bowel, but he sat there for 2 days.
They kept his body moving their half for the whole
But he sat there for 2 days in pain, crying out, and they told him there's nothing wrong with him, and he died.
A ruptured abdomen, a ruptured bowel.
And if you look you can look it up. If
called
they
him,
have to,
he
if they'd
didn't
have got
have a
him,
bond and it's a convicted misdemeanor on the jail site.
if they would have got him to a hospital, he'd lived. Anybody out here would have lived. Like you go to the hospital, you get it taken care of, and you live. I mean, there's always a chance you could die, but like it's very slim. The percentage is like 2 to 10% that will die.
We couldn't even have a funeral because they kept his body a month and a half for the autopsy.
And then they says natural causes. So
yeah.
It's rife with corruption. The Department of Corrections and the Department of Homeland Security is rife with corruption. This is a petition to Governor Justice and Senator Manchin. We need the governor and Senator Manchin to join with us in filing for a full, independent, objective federal civil rights investigation by the Department of Justice.
Please.
The Department of Corrections and the Department of Homeland Security have both covered all this up. On my way in, somebody said to me, they've been complaining, and most of our jails have an overpopulation of 120% to over 150%. We have jails, I'm from the Eastern Panhandle. Our jail up there in Martinsburg leads the state in the number of suicides. We have people in our jails in cells made for 2 people to 4, 5, and 6 people. And they're running it like a state of nature. So that the inmates run the pots. The strongest and the biggest inmates run the pots. They steal the food, and they demand money from the commissary, from the weaker inmates. Now, our jails are corrupt, and we would like to believe that Governor Jim Justice has enough integrity to want to know what's going on in the jails he is responsible for, to get to the bottom of it, and resolve it. And we know a big part of the problem is the opioid addiction, the opioid crisis. But we can't put people into jail without conviction and have them die. We can't do that. Not in 2023. And we have to hold Governor Justice accountable. Yes, sir. We have people like
Another thing, it's been covered up for so long. And I spoke with the governor once, and he played me off. You know, and every lie that was told was based off what Jim Sandy said. So if Jim Sandy is reporting a lie to the governor, and the governor is reporting that lie, he is just as guilty. And we need young people accountable for what's going on in these jails. We cannot have it anymore. These are young people dying. This is my son. What if it was your son, your daughter, your family member? Is it acceptable? It's not acceptable. It has to stop. The governor needs to meet with us and let us know what's going on as far as what the state is doing right now, which is absolutely nothing. Give us an answer. First off, admit to me that something happened to my son in your system. That's step one. That's step 10 a year ago. 1 year. I haven't heard from any of them. And when I did speak with the governor, he played me off. Yeah.
No, there's a lot of pain here, and a lot of pain all over the state for what's happening to people. You know, folks go in there without conviction if they can't make bail. And so there are innocent people in those jails that make Thank you very much. Let's go, y'all. Let's go, all right, let's stay together.
We're standing up. We're joining us. And I want y'all to know this fight isn't over. This ain't ending right now. We have plans, things that we're already working on. Because we want answers. We want change. We want funding. You greedy things. You even voted down to give our female products in jail. You're nasty. That's nasty. You don't even give our females lock them in a cage and you don't even give them female products. You are lower than low. And we're tired of you standing with your butcher, telling being in front of us, telling us, look what I got. We know what we got? Nothing. Nothing. We don't know about water. We don't want sewage. Our jails are just, our systems are crumbling. But you greedies has got it. You greedies has got it. We've had billions to come in here. And then you can't even give a woman a pad? Are you kidding me? We might be poor, but we're not low life. And we will show you. We are the people. We will mobilize. We will organize. We will register. We will educate. You will go. One way or another, you will go. Thank you. West Virginia. Mountaineers will be free again.
This is Lindsay Go. She spoke to the governor's representative inside. She was abused herself, and I want you to hear her story.
I was incarcerated in South Central on July 27th. I'm from Virginia, Roanoke. And I was transferred from South Central to SRJ and beaten by a gold-badge officer in the bathroom at Beckley to the point where I had welts in my head. They then threw me into a cell with no running water, the toilet was backed up for over a week. They gave me no feminine products, no clean clothes, hardly any food. By the time it came to me, I had popped the sprinklers to get their attention, so they would actually come and get me out of there. It took a couple days. They got me out there and I was beat up by other inmates in the pod. After that, they put me in custody, so I was on a 24-hour lockdown with no access to contact my family. I was put in there with 4 or 5 other inmates in a cell that's only supposed to have 2 at most. There were people sleeping by the toilets. People are in there with medical attention. I was not even being a voice for other people when I was being abused myself. The COs are disgusting people. They talk to you like animals. I never believed in 7 jail time after 3 months. My family couldn't even know where I was. So I just want to make sure. And same about the feminine products. I was on my period for days. I was in there with no underwear, nothing to take care of myself. And I just feel like it's time that we make a change and use our voice to tell people what's really happening in there. I never would imagine that it was that horrible. But I literally lived in hell while I was there. And there's people that didn't make it out. Me too. Deserve something for that. So.
You know what you call that, everybody? Let's speak the truth to power. Let's speak the truth to power. The governor has a petition signed by 5,000 people. The request has been made for a federal investigation. Lawsuits have been filed. We'll have the families will have an opportunity to sign on to a class action lawsuit. But let's give the families of Montez Burks and Brother Miller and Albert Shrewsbury and Lindsay herself a round of applause. Please, everybody, to come out. We'll be back. We'll be back. We'll be back.